In this Chapter 7 live event, we're not just going to see the return of the Seven, but also their main rival that we have not seen in over 4 years. They used to be so powerful, it took the Seven almost 1,000 years to defeat them. The thing is, we have seen this organization start from nothing in Chapter 4 and be the most powerful organization in the history of Fortnite in Chapter 2. This rivalry between the Seven and this organization has been full of lies, betrayal, war, and this was all done because both of them wanted to eliminate each other. This rivalry ended in Chapter 3 when Seven defeated this organization, or at least that's what we thought, because it looks like this organization is going to be back, and we know that Seven is going to be back as well. That means this rivalry is returning back in Chapter 7. Who exactly is this organization, and why does the Seven hate them so much? Now, to understand this, we're gonna have to go all the way back to Chapter 4. Now, this right here is a very important moment if you want to understand the origin of this organization, because straight after Chapter 3 Island got completely destroyed, Paradigm, using the power of the 0 point, constructs a brand new map by bringing different parts of Fortnite Island from different realities. And in this exact moment, you can see this part of the map is the Citadel. The Citadel was the main location of Chapter 4. And also in terms of storyline, it was very important as well. In fact, on the day of Chapter 4 released, Donald Mustard tweeted this, saying Fortnite will never be finished. The whole idea is that it is a living, breathing place. But what you're experiencing today is much closer to the earliest Imagine Order. That's right, I'm sure you've guessed it by now. The organization I'm talking about is the Imagine Order. What does this medieval citadel has to do with an organization that hasn't even existed yet? The reason for that is because, like Donald Mustard said, in Chapter 4, we're witnessing the birth of I.O. Now, inside of the citadel, people noticed a few things. First of all, this logo were found literally everywhere, and if you put this next to Imagine Order's logo, they look very similar. And the Citadel belonged to a ruler, and his name was the Ageless Champion, also known as Geno. That's right, the same Geno who founded the Imagine Order. This guy right here with Dr. Sloan. But the reason why his name is called Ageless rather than Geno is because he's not the original Geno. He's just a snapshot as mentioned in the description. And if you don't know, every time a Fortnite characters go through the 0 point, a snapshot of that person is created. And that is the reason why we have so many Jonesy versions. Because remember, Agent Jones used to work for the Imagine Order. And for work, he used to go through the 0 point all the time. And when your snapshot is created, it doesn't just copy your looks, it also copies your memory, your behavior. And that is the reason why when you spoke with the Ageless, he told us he is the ruler of this place called Oathbound. That's right, all of these buildings, including Citadel, were actually Oathbound's kingdom. But deep in the mountains, there was a different sort of buildings, which was owned by a different organization, which I will talk about in just a little bit. And when you spoke with Ageless, he would tell you,
I want to create an organization with perfect order, where everyone follows my order, and those who disobey will have a dark future.
That's right, he's basically describing the Imagine Order. And from his voice, you can already tell that there are going to be people that are going to disobey him, and they will want to take him down as well. He's basically talking about those mysterious people from the mountains. They're called the Reality Warriors. And just like how the Oathbound are the earlier version of the Imagine Order, the Reality warriors are the earlier version of the 7. Now, we don't really see a huge battle between these two in Chapter 4, but what we do see is reality warriors sabotaging Ageless' huge plan to bring the Dark Presence to Fortnite. That's right, we believe Chapter 6 isn't the very first time has tried to come to Fortnite. We know this because we spoke with this character called Stallon, and he tells us that Ageless Champion has told him to construct some kind of rift portal. I mean, just listen to this.
Hail and well met. I'm Stellan, the Rift Warden to the Oathbound. My task, set by the Ageless Champion, is to create a stable rift gate, a bridge to new realities. Your refined kinetic ore is the key.
That's right, same sort of portals that we had in Chapter 6. The champions wanted similar portals, and he was going to do it using these magical rocks known as kinetic ores. And the 7's AI called Amy gave us an information that actually revealed to us exactly how Ageless Champion started the Imagine Order and made it one of the most powerful organization in the history. Listen to this.
Someone has been mining this raw ore and using it as a fuel source. But the rocks we just dropped off have been refined somehow. They're hundreds of times more powerful. That kinetic ore wasn't on our old island, but here it's in the fuel, weapons, items, everything.
Now this rock is obviously extremely powerful. Ageless Champion has been mining these rocks and using them, like Amy explained to us, in everything, weapons, vehicles. Now what if Geno created the 0 point using these kinetic ores? Because we don't really know how the 0 point came to be. We just knew that the 0 point was under the control of Imagine Order. Maybe Geno created it and used its power to become extremely powerful. Now let's go back to the Dark Presence. How do we know the Dark Presence was the one who's making the Ageless Champion build this rift portal? Well, we heard this information from Stallon. Listen to this.
I will choose to trust you with a secret I have never told. There is a being. He watches us with dark purpose. If we do not finish the rift gate, the consequences will be terrible.
He says that there is a being on the other side of that portal, and he wants the Ageless Champion and Stallon to construct this portal gate, or else things will be extremely dark. Now, the only thing that confuses me is that why would Ageless Champion want to build this rift portal for this mysterious dark presence? Now, there are a bunch of theories out there suggesting the Dark Presence is in fact the original Geno. And since he was extremely powerful, who has the ability to piece himself back together, maybe he shape-shifted into this giant creature that we saw during the event. Now, while Ageless and Stallon is constructing this rift portal, Amy the robot is planning to go save the 7. Now, this audio that I'm about to play you is very important, especially what's about to happen in Chapter 7. Listen to this.
The scientist, wherever he is, always said there's just no material strong enough to contain me. Test rift locked onto the scientist, and something horrible is happening to him. What could be darker than the worst fate imaginable? The second that gate is online, I need to be ready to use it, to find him, before it's too late.
That's right, using the rocks, she creates this mini portal. She locates the 7 and tells us that they're going through the darkest fate imaginable, and they are all different now. And straight after this, Amy constructs a robotic body and goes through the rift portal to save the 7. And she says she will only return if she manages to save them all. Now, I think this is very important because I feel like Amy is going to save the 7 and bring them back during this live event. And since Mark Rain, the CEO of Fortnite, tweeted this saying people are just imagining things, kind of confirms that the Imagine Order are going to be here as well. And to make things even better, the composer who composes music for Fortnite live events has pretty much confirmed that Geno is going to be back as well. And also Fortnite has confirmed that this is going to be a full storyline live event. So it is official. This is probably going to be one of the biggest live events we have ever had in the history of Fortnite. There's going to be a lot of videos coming up, so make sure to use my code SMJM, like this video, and subscribe. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace out.